Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. I want you to know that I truly appreciate you. I want to make this one really quick. I think. See, it's because you're not supposed to be doing that. My vlogs are, as I have said in one of my titles, I think it's still up there, I don't know. My vlogs are about, in some cases, in many cases, life observations. Just things that I see, things that I notice, things that I overhear. So one of the things that I overheard today was, that's the wrong way. One of the things that I overheard today was an employee got upset with someone and kind of mouthed off to that person. And then when they were contacted about mouthing off, they mouthed off to the person that contacted them. So then that person ended up having to call the employee's superior. And the superior called the employee and said, look, from now on, when such and such happens, you need to just call me. You don't mouth off to this person. You don't mouth off to that person. Now, this conversation was had after the second person called the superior, complained about the employee, and the superior said, well, he doesn't know who you are. He doesn't know who you are. Now, I'm sure that the person on the other line had the same thought that I had. And I can say that, I'm sure, because of the fact that the superior had to repeat that statement and then say something else afterwards. And I forget what they said, because I was paying attention, but I wasn't paying attention. I'm sure they had the same thought that I had. What does it matter whether he knows who that person was or not? What does it matter? You're an employee. You're providing a service. And if you're providing a good service, you're providing good customer service, great customer service, optimal customer service, it should not matter who the other person is, whether you know who they are or not, whether you know the level that they hold, the title that they hold, the position that they carry, whether you know those things or not. If you're providing optimal customer service, doesn't matter. Your focus is providing that customer with great customer service. Doesn't matter who they are. You're supposed to show them respect. Whether you believe they deserve it or not, you're supposed to show them respect. That's part of customer service. You're supposed to hold your temper. Doesn't matter what they say to you. You're supposed to hold your temper. And I know in some cases that's very difficult to do, because my belief is that the customer is not always right. Now, when I was coming up at my customer service positions, the motto was the customer is always right. I rebuke that thing, because the customer is not always right. However, you don't treat that customer in a negative way or react to that customer's bad behavior in a negative way unless you are defending yourself. Your goal is to provide optimal customer service. It could have been the janitor of the company, the president of the company, or anyone in between. Doesn't matter who they are, you provide optimal customer service. So if I had the opportunity to speak with that superior about that, and my program that I am pulling together about providing optimal customer service, if I'd had the opportunity to speak to them about that, I would have corrected them so that they know better how to correct their employees. To say that this employee didn't know who this other customer was, and it was a customer, it was clear that it was a customer. It wasn't just Joe Blow on the street. It was very clear that this person was a customer. If you're trying to keep business, your employees need to know how to provide the right customer service. You can't say, well, he didn't know who you were. That means that you're brushing off the bad behavior. You're sweeping the bad behavior under the rug. That's not okay. That's not okay at all. Because that's going to make that customer, if it were me and I had other options, that would make me say, I don't want your services anymore. Because this is how you treat your customers. And it doesn't matter if you have a long history with them. It doesn't matter that you have a long history with them. You just swept bad behavior under the rug by telling me that this person didn't know who I was. And that's why they acted that way. So in other words, they treat every customer that way. But when they find out that the customer holds a certain title or a certain position, then they treat them like kings and queens? No. Every customer holds the title of royalty. Every customer deserves optimal customer service. Every customer deserves respect. Don't tell me that this person, this employee, didn't know who I was and that's why they treated me that way. That is unacceptable. That's why I'm pulling together this customer service course, because I have encountered poor customer service on numerous occasions, and I've thought about doing it for years and wouldn't do it. But when we relocated to Texas, my husband and I saw that customer service in certain areas, just like we saw in Chicago, but customer service in certain areas are worse. Is worse than in other areas. It's much more obvious here than it was in Chicago. In Chicago, you had bad customer service across the gamut. Didn't matter what neighborhood, it was across the gamut. Some of it bordering on racism. Here is bad customer service in certain areas. It's very clear. We can go to one of the suburban malls. One of the restaurants, we're treated with respect. We can go to a mall or restaurant in an area that is not necessarily a poverty area, but I would say it's more middle class than upper class. Bad customer service. We can go to a low income area. Bad customer service. So that pushed me to go ahead and pull this program together. So I'm going to do that. And once I get it done, I'll launch it and, make a big announcement and all that other great stuff. But I was just kind of thrown by the fact that this is what the superior said to the client. about one of the employees. That's not good. That's not good. With that, I'll end this because, I said it would be quick. It's already 10 minutes. Peace and blessings. Remember to walk in your purpose. And I truly appreciate you.